Hello everyone. I just want to share some thoughts with you this morning. I've been focusing on Psalm 84 over the last couple of weeks, and I've been drawn to this because the writer of this psalm is just longing to be in God's presence. He's longing to be in his dwelling place, and that speaks to me of where we're at Woody at the moment, where we are seeking his face. We are seeking to be in his dwelling place. And the writer of this psalm, we're told, is a son of Korah, and that meant he probably was a singer in the temple in Jerusalem. But at the time of him writing this, he is in mourning because he is far away in exile and he can't go to the temple to worship anymore. And he yearns to be there. He says that his heart and his flesh cry out for the living God. And it reminds me a bit of the Welsh word hiraeth, which expresses just a deep longing, deep in the soul, to be in a particular place. And that is where he is at. Nothing else will satisfy. Nowhere else will satisfy. And the verse that really struck me in this psalm is verse 3. It says, "Even the sparrow has found a home, and a swallow a nest for herself where she may have her young, a place near the altar." And I just think that's a lovely picture. It may be the fact that we are looking for a new home ourselves, but also I just find it a beautiful picture of how we long to be in the presence of God. These birds, they want to dwell in the presence of God. It's almost as if they want to snuggle up to him. And it's a good reminder to me and to all of us, I think, that our true home is in his dwelling place with him. But the writer thinks of how he's been on pilgrimage before with songs of praise, but he also talks of how it can be a difficult journey to get to the house of the Lord, to get into his dwelling place. He says that they go through the valley of weeping. They go through the valley of Baca, which can mean the valley of weeping, but it can also mean the valley where the Baca trees grow, and Baca trees grew in very arid places. So you get the picture of the journey sometimes being a journey of sorrow, sometimes being a difficult journey. But as they go on that journey, he says, they make it a place of springs. The arid valley turns to a place of springs. And the good news is that 3 things happen as they go on that journey. First of all, the pilgrims are refreshed. And secondly, it says they go from strength to strength. And thirdly, it says that each one finally arrives in God's presence. They are found by him. And at Woody, as we pursue seeking God's presence, his face, his dwelling place, we too will be refreshed. We too will go from strength to strength, and we will enter his presence. The writer says, better is one day in his courts than thousands elsewhere. He says he'd rather be a mere doorkeeper in the house of God than live among the wicked. Now, to us, this psalm may speak of our life's journey and our eternal destiny, but it also speaks of our journey of seeking his face at this time. We're invited to enter the glorious courts of the King, into his beautiful presence, and to live in them now, not just in the next life. And when we do that, who knows what God will do with us? I've also been focusing on Paul's prayer in Ephesians 3. It ends with this verse. "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask and imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." It's not just God doing it, it's God doing it in and through us. So let's tire of seeking or give up the journey and making God our dwelling place, our true home in this life as well as the next.